Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am Arghadeep Datta and I will show you how to make a simple 3D game using Unity. So first you need to go to your browser, search for Unity Hub. After that click download Unity Hub and then download it. You can choose your Unity and plus download it or just you can download Unity Hub. After downloading you must run the installer so that you can do whatever is there. So after that go to Unity Hub, make a shortcut of it in this desktop. After that go to installs. First there will be showing that no license are activated, so first go sign in and manage the license. After that you can add an install version of Unity editor. I am using currently 2020.1.15 F1. So first you need to go to projects, new. Now let's think which kind of game we will make today. We will just make a simple 3D game and there will be some parts of this game. I will making them part by part. First of all I am showing you the movement of this small cube. So I will going to make a 3D game. So just click 3D, name the project, just name it as box game. Okay, you can choose 2D or 3D, but if you don't know what the game will be, 2D or 3D, before starting the project, don't worry, you will be able to change it after creating the project. Okay, so first create it. It will first take some time to load Unity for the first time to create a project. And if you are using SSD, then it would be not using that much time, or if you use hard disk, then it would take a lot of time. Okay, so just let it be down, let it be imported everything and get ready. For the first time I loaded the scene. Now I will first show you all the setups. What are the scenes behind this? This is the inspector where you can control everything. You can add physics to the body what you are dealing with. You can do anything. You can add a script in this inspector. In this game view you will see what would be going on in the game, and for the scene view you can see what is going on in the scene. That is your editor window. You can edit everything in the scene. This is the hierarchy where all the game objects are stored. First of all, as it's a new scene, there is nothing but a main camera whose preview is that. That means you can see the game view over here, what is capturing by this camera. And then there is a directional light. This is the directional light. This you can change the direction of it. You can do anything. You can change the color of it to green. You can see the color will change. Now first of all we would like to just go and make it white. I don't need anything. Okay, so first we will be going to make a game with a simple 3D objects. First go click right click here in the hierarchy, then 3D objects, and then first choose the plane. Here is our plane first. Then there are some tools you can manage with them using shortcuts, but you can use these as well. First of all I will go to increase its size a bit like this, and then reset the transform. What is the transform? Transform is nothing but the position in a 3D plane of this object. You can change the scale up here. You can see that this is increasing about it when I am using this X, Y and Z. Z means in the direction opposite or perpendicular to X axis and as well as Y axis. It's vector 3, that is as 3D vectors. So first these are assets tab where you can store all the assets of your program that would be used to make such a game. First there is a scenes and there is a sample scene where we are working. And now just create a material. What you will do, right click here, create, and then you will find the material tab, click on it. Now change the color what you want. Let's make it a fine green. Let's make it a fine green. Wait, like this. Okay, lime green. You can choose the metallicness of this. You can see what is the ball is representing the material, the color which will be added to any game object. This is nothing but a material that you can use to different game objects to color them. Okay, so I will decrease the smoothness. I will decrease the smoothness as well as the metallicness and just drag it in. Now you can see our plane has a color, a pretty cool green color. But now I want to make the plane 2 in x-axis and 10 in z-axis. You can see what does it looks like. Actually, using your middle mouse button, you can rotate in this scene. Using your left mouse button, you can select any object in the scene, and using this right mouse button, you can just rotate. You can see my rotation. Okay, so we will be doing our game like this. This will be our platform where the cube will be moving. So first of all, just create another material. What is this material? This is not a color material. It would be a physics material. What is a physics material? Physics material is nothing but a material which gives the friction to this plane or to the object which you are adding with this material. So just name it as smooth material, and make the dynamic friction to 0 and the static friction to 0. That means this plane wouldn't have any kind of thing, any kind of friction on it. Just drag and drop. You can't see anything, but if you open the plane in the inspector, you can see there is a material called smooth material. Okay, that's it. So now what we're gonna do? Let's create our main game object, that would be a cube. So go to 3D cube. You can't see the cube, hover over it and press F to see on it. I will reset its transform. You can see that the object is now in the plane. To get close to our main camera, move it to go to its position. That how we can see it in this camera. So just go like this. Use your middle mouse button and as well as your left mouse button. Our camera is here, but we don't want our camera be there. So what we gonna go to the main camera, reset its transform. Don't reset. Okay. Now what we gonna do? We're gonna just drag and drop. Just make it up here. Move this down to this end. Okay, that's looking cool. And for the cube, just same as this, not the plane, the cube. You can use the cube clicking in the hierarchy. Here you can see our nice, pretty, cool cube. So just put it here, and now I will be showing you how to. Now if we play this game, what would happen? Let's see what happens. You can see nothing happens because it is nothing but a mesh, nothing but an object without any gravity, without any physics on it. So what can we do with it? Let's add some physics to it. Add a physics. For physics, you just need to write rigid body. Now this is our rigid body. Add this rigid body. We have added the rigid body. Now see what happens. It falls on it. Okay, that's pretty cool that it become a physical object that is controlled by gravity as well as many other forces like angular drag of airs. So go to our camera, make it up a bit, make it down a bit. Yeah, like this. I'm changing the rotation. Okay, mind it. Then I'm changing the rotation. Make it a move backward, and you can see our small cube goes there. You can see the cube. So what can I do? I want to zoom on it. So just go here, and I don't want a skybox like this. This is so pretty annoying. So I'm gonna change it to solid color, and let's make the color a bright yellow. Okay, that's good. And again, create a material. You please mention me in the comments which kind of material you want. You can do any color you want. Let me check some kind of bright red. Okay, peach color is cool. Wait. That much not. That's okay. So if I drag it, our cube is now having a color. So just now hit the play again. You can see our cube falls here, but it doesn't do anything at all. So what I gonna do? I gonna make it a little bit thicker. 0.2, 1.2 and 1.2. That's cool. Now go to the main camera and decrease the field of view so that it can come near this cube. We will be doing everything through script, but I am showing you how to do its manual. These are basics of Unity. These are basics of game design. So, okay, that's it. Now, what we wanted, we want to move our cube. But how can we move? We can't move it like that. A gamer is not seeing anything. Who is playing the game can see only this thing. He can't adjust anything. So, if you want not to make it large, here is maximize on play, disable it, and you can see that it stays there. Nothing changes. You can see all the changes happening to the scene as well. Let me drag it in. See, for gravity it decreases. Its position is continuously changing. Okay. Now the main thing. Let's create a C# script. Okay. For Unity game design, you need to install Visual Studio as well as Unity Hub. That it's needed to make all scripting. Scripting is nothing but making some programs or coding that would move the player, that would do everything what the player or what the game object can do. So let's name it as a movement. Okay. Just open it up in Visual Studio. That's gonna take a lot of time. That's pretty sure that Visual Studio is a bit slow. That's because it's a huge application now. Okay, it's totally loaded. First, now the thing comes. What is this script mean? There are two using tabs. If you do C programming, if you have done any kind of language programming, then you can see there are some header tags. I am using C# script for Unity to make a game, so we are using these tags. But we don't need this system tag and this generic tag. We just need Unity engine tag. These are default tags, so they are there, they were placed there, but we can delete it. Now let's see. This is a public class, and this is mono behavior. First, create some variables. First, think of what kind of variables would we need. Let's let's take our whole game objects, or take a rigid body. So I will say public. What is public? Public is nothing but the thing that you can change the variable inside of the inspector, not writing and scratching it from the C# script. So to make it handy, we are making all the variables here are public. So first, create a rigid body. What is a rigid body? I have said we added a component to our game object that was a rigid body. I will be controlling our body with this physics. We will add force to move it. We will again add upward force to jump it, and we will do everything through giving forces at different angles. So in this first session, we will see how to add this movement, how to add this force to our game object. So start first. I need to get now I need to define what is RB. RB equals to get component. I need to get a component. Okay, get component rigid body, close it like that. That means we are attaching the script to a game object, then we are saying to give me a rigid body. Please give me a rigid body. If I link this rigid body, he gonna link this RB. What is this RB? This RB is the rigid body part of that game object. That's I want. So in the void start, that what is void start? Start is called before the first frame update. When we just play the play button, then the void start will run. And for update is called once per frame. Every second, not every second, what is your FPS? That much, 1 by that much. Means it will be called every frame. That will be called every second or every frame that moves. So update is called once per frame. So in the voice update, what we're gonna do? We're gonna move that player. So we're gonna move that player how? We will add some force. First, take some input. So say if input that get key down. Now say key code. What is this key code? For every key in our keyboard there are key codes. What are the key codes? Simply it is the name of the keys. So just say if we press the left arrow key, then it will move left, and right arrow key, then it will move right. Then what we can do, how we can do this? First get the key code that is left arrow. Yes, left arrow. Then what we gonna do? Just start the function and say what happens. First, if we click this, we want to move the object, the cube, to left. But how can we do that? Easy, pretty easy. Just RB that add force for adding a force. From where? Vector 3. What is vector 3? Vector 3 is nothing but a 3D vector. Dot left. Okay. Now this vector 3 dot left is a very much little, so small, that is 1 in the z direction. So we want not this. So let's create a force. Public. This would be float type force. Vector 3 dot left. Now I can multiply the force to it. Force to it. Now that's it. Now what is this float? The force is now assigned to have a value of 0, but we don't need to make it 0. We want to make it equal to a large value. Just call it 500 or some small 200 value. You need to give F if it is a float. So we are done. To first check our object, so Ctrl S to save it. Go to Unity, select your movement script, drag and drop it in the cube. Let's go to the cube. There you can see there is a rigid body RB. We have mentioned it as rigid body and public, so we can see this in the inspector. We have added this force as public, so we can change this float value whatever we want to the inspector. So make it 200 and just take this, put it this. So let's see what happens. You can see whenever I pressing this left arrow key, the object is moving. You can see the object is moving. Put it here. This is moving. You can see. But if we play rightly, it doesn't do anything because we haven't assigned anything. So first go to our script and add all the movements we want. Okay, so let's get started. You can copy this thing again, or you can write this again. Control C, Control V, and instead of left arrow, say right arrow, and except of left, say right. That's it for the basic movement. So let's see what we can do. Go there. Let's see, can we move in both direction? Let's see. Yes, we can move in both direction. You can see. Pretty cool. But we can't move in the forward direction. We can move the forward direction using up arrow key, but that would not be that much what I want. In this game, I want to make it go with its own, that he will go like this, and some colliders will be there, some obstacles will be there. You need to avoid them to win the game. So that's it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a very high force to it in the first frame, that is the first start, and then I can call this again and again each frame in the update. So just go, we don't need to take any input, we just do everything using script and we don't need input. So go here in the void update. What we want to add a force forward to it in a high amount. So just make it, that is RB, that add force from where? Vector 3 dot forward. Vector 3 dot forward. Now this vector 3 dot forward must be multiplied with a huge value. Just into this and get another one public float. Public float. Call it the start force. Okay. So in there forward into start force. Start force. Now what is the value of start force? Let's define it 1000 or 800. That would be much more than our left and right movement speed, or you can see the movement forces. So just save it, go to Unity, hit play. I think it's gonna work. Yes, you can see it move a lot further. So make the plane from here to 10 to make it 100. You can see what is happening. You can make it 1000, but 100 is cool. Okay. Now a simple thing that I wanted to show you, that you can see the camera is not following the player. He goes very far, but our camera is still there. So to move that camera, we just click the camera and parent it with our cube, so you can see this will move together. This is called children. A children will always follow its parent. So cube is its parent and main camera is the children of a cube. So if we hit play now, we can see something happening. Yes, our cube is moving. Now the plane goes and we just get in the void. So that's it for today, guys. We will be making a much more complicated things in the next video. But after that, please don't forget to subscribe and just like my video. If you don't, hit the dislike. But one thing we can do, that this would be so bad in such cases, I will be showing you. Just make it to none. Don't make it smooth, just make it none. Now let's see what happens. Let's see. Our cube is rotating, but we don't need to rotate our camera. So what will we do? We can't do anything if we parent it like this. If we parent a cube on a main camera, then the camera will follow everything, rotation and position of the cube. So just unparent it and add a simple script called the player follow script. Player follow. Follow. Just hit and enter. Click there to open it up in Visual Studio. So in this case, we will need only the transform. What is a transform? Let me see, show. In this scene, you can see there is this thing common in every game object, that's a transform. What is a transform? Transform is nothing but the position, rotation and the size of an object. So we just need to take the transform of our we need to only take the position of our cube and parent the main camera to follow it using only its position, not its rotation. So how can we do? Let's take some public transform. What would be the transform? Let us see player. Okay, player. So we go to void update and very simple, player.position equals to transform that position plus some offset. What is offset? Okay, first save it. Go to Unity. Okay. In Unity, now what am I doing? You just see this. Nothing happens actually, because we haven't parented our player to it. Just take our cube and put it in the slot of player. So let's see what happens. You can see nothing happens. Why this is happening? Why? But because you can see that's a player transform, or the cube transform is player dot position equals to transform dot position. Let's take an offset. Let's take an offset public victory. That would be of type victory. What is public victory? Victory is nothing but some vectors. You can add a 3D vector as well. I will be making some videos on summation of vectors after a time. That's game mechanics or game maths. So vector 3, take a vector 3 called offset and make it plus. What we need to do, I need to just add our offset to it. Pretty cool. Now everything is there. Go to Unity, go to our cube. Everything is set in the main camera. Player cube transform, we have put the cube transform, and let's make it 0, 0 and 5 and make it 2 or 3. Now there are some errors. Let me see what are these. Open the console. Wait a bit. There is a mesh collider. Okay, now let's put this material on it. Let's see where is our cube now. Our cube is here. Why this is happening, you know? I have done a mistake. That's you shouldn't do. I wanted to show you that, so I did it. What the camera is doing, it's taking this thing to its position, but we don't need it. We need to follow this camera to this. So what we can say that player dot position, don't place here player dot position. Player dot position in the place of player transform dot position equals to player dot position, and that's how you can see everything would go smoothly. Let's hit play. Yes, you can see we are facing our block. That is, our camera is currently in this part. When I am clicking this camera and making its offset same as this, then it becomes a first person camera. But we don't need a first person camera, so just make go to the main camera and make it let me think some great values of it. Player dot position plus offset. Make the offset to 2 or make the offset to 0, and first disable the scripting on it because I don't want to move it now. Okay, I just want to see that does it works properly. No, where is our camera? Our camera is there. So let's see. Yes, if our camera becomes offsetted there, we can see everything rightly. So go here, copy component, and then close it. Go to the main camera and paste component values. Now their offsets are same, so you can see what happens now. Just go to the cube and let's enable the script. Now I think that would work pretty cool. You can see we can move there and the platform goes. For simplicity, make it 300 to make the force a little bit small. Yes, you can see we can move like this. That's it. So I want to show you one thing in the movement script that I can use one thing, that is forward into time dot delta time. I will be showing you what it does. Let me save it. Go to Unity and just hit play. You can see that the force is now much smoother than the previous one. See. Our platform is too big and now we fall. Now all the rotations are not affected. That's the cool thing. If in other cases you can go to the constraints of rigid body, you can freeze the rotation, but don't do this. Just apply a frictionless material, physics material to our plane. So go our plane, not make it 100, just make it 10 or 20, what you want. Okay, or make it 100. Okay, first make your plane took your plane center to this, and now hit 10. You can see that. Just reset its transform. Okay, after resetting its transform, where is our cube? Our cube is in this position. So copy component values, or you can just copy component and go to this, paste component values. So you can see it comes really easier, and this everything is copied. So make it just 1 and that much to 10, and that's what we have wanted. Move it up a bit like this. That's it. You can see in the scene we are moving. You can see we are constantly moving in the forward direction because of this time dot delta time. It's much smoother. Okay, so now it comes to an end. In the next video we will be making some obstacles, some colliders, vector trees, and winning of games UI. There will be much videos. There will be 7 to 8 videos. Till then, take care everybody, and bye bye. Consider subscribing.